Hello everyone, my name is Véronique de Conto. I am a project leader in vitro pharmacology in HCS Pharma Company. It's my pleasure to present you the importance of microenvironment in cerebral in vitro models for phenotypic screening. Despite a significant selection of drug candidates during all the process of drug discovery, the failure rate in clinical trials is 90% in average. And even more for the brain, as you can see on this graph, the probability of approval for a drug entering in phase 1 is only 3% for brain disease. These data highlight a lack of relevance of preclinical models used upstream to select drug candidates. Indeed, animals present interspecies differences with humans, and in vitro models are often too simple because they don't take into account the microenvironment, in particular the extracellular matrix. The extracellular matrix is composed of several molecules, in particular hyaluronic acid, a non-sulfated glycosaminoglycan. There are also sulfated glycosaminoglycan, like heparan sulfate and chondroitin sulfate, which can bind to a core protein to form proteoglycans. There are also glycoproteins, like tenascin, adhesion molecules, like fibronectin, and structural molecules, like collagen. The brain matrix specificity is the ratio between glycosaminoglycan and collagen, which is only 10:1. That makes the brain the organ with the lowest rigidity of the human body, as you can see on this graph, with an elastic modulus of 0.1 kilopascal, very far to the plastic commonly used for cell culture. The extracellular matrix is a dynamic structure continuously remodeling. The matrix is involved in cell adhesion and migration, but not only. The matrix is also involved in the development with the cell proliferation, differentiation, and maturation, and also in physiological functions like tissue homeostasis, biochemical signal retention and mediation, and also in growth factor modulation. Moreover, the matrix can be modified and involved in pathologies. For example, Parkinson's disease affects more than 10 million people worldwide. This disease is mainly characterized by movement symptoms like bradykinesia, tremor, and rigidity. These movement symptoms are caused by the death of dopaminergic neurons in the substantia nigra pars compacta and the influence of environmental and genetic factors. This death of dopaminergic neurons involved the extracellular matrix. Indeed, there are a modification in the matrix composition, for example, an increase in some components like collagen, lecticans, and tenascin, and also a degradation of hyaluronic acid. In parallel, there is an increase in the hyaluronic acid receptor CD44. The extracellular matrix is also involved in the neuroinflammation found in neurodegenerative diseases. For example, there is an activation of glial cells by tenascin C and chondroitin sulfate proteoglycan. And the increase in MMP lead an OCM degradation and the formation of pro-inflammatory fragments. In this context, we ask the question, what is the influence of the microenvironment on in vitro neuronal responses? For that, we use biomimesis, a hyaluronic acid-base matrix graphed with a structural and adhesions molecule. Biomimesis combines both the advantages of a solid scaffold, in particular the structure maintenance and the porosity, and the advantages of hydrogels, in particular biohydric properties and cell matrix interaction. Biomimesis allows to mimic decellularized organs, but without the problem of difficulty of access and reproducibility. In this way, biomimesis is physiological because hyaluronic acid is a major component of the extracellular matrix, chemically defined, compatible for screening, and adaptable to each organ. For this study, we used Biomesis Brain, the version for the cerebral cell culture. And Biomesis Brain is composed of hyaluronic acid, RGDS, the cell adhesion fragment of fibronectin, collagen 4, and a cationic polymer to promote neuronal growth. To mimic Parkinson's disease, we culture a dopaminergic neuronal cell line in a Biomesis brain, the Loomis cell line. Here you have the Loomis cells cultured in 2 dimensions for comparison. And here you can see the Loomis cells cultured in Biomesis brain with in blue the nuclei and in green the beta-3 tubulin. So you can see that the cells form clusters with neurites. On this video, you can see several Z-stack separated by 2 micrometers to visualize the 3D organization of the cells in Biomesis brain. We observe that Loomis cells express NEN, which is a marker of neuronal maturity, and in red on this picture, and also tyrosine hydroxylase in yellow on this picture, which is a marker of dopaminergic neurons. We also study the influence of matrix elasticity, and we observe that if we increase the elastic modulus to 1 kilopascal, the Loomis cells form compact spheroids and no more cluster with neurites like in 0.1 kilopascal. This result shows that the matrix elasticity influences the cell organization, and we selected a matrix with an elastic modulus of 0.1 kilopascal, which is the elasticity of the brain. The exposition of the Loomis cells to 6 Parkinson's disease inducers, rotenone, cis-hydroxydopamine, erastine, MPP+, glutamate, and paraquat, showed that the cells are less sensitive when cultivated in 2D, in black on the graph, than when cultivated in 3D in Biomesis brain in red on the graph. This difference was particularly pronounced for erastine. So the sensitivity in Biomesis brain was lower than in 2D. That can be explained by the molecular retention in the matrix, like in vivo, and also by differences in a protein expression level in Biomesis compared to 2D culture. In the aim to develop a more complex and more relevant model, we perform a co-culture between neuron and astrocytes in Biomesis brain. We perform this co-culture in 2 times. First, we see the primary human astrocytes in Biomesis brain, and 2 days later, we see the Loomis cells. You can see on the picture the astrocytes stained for GFAP in green, and the Loomis cells stained for beta-3 tubulin in red. And you can see here the co-culture with a spheroid containing both the astrocytes in green and the neuronal cells in red. To summarize, Biomesis brain allows to culture cerebral cells, including in co-culture. The matrix stiffness influences the cell organization, and the matrix influences the neuronal response to Parkinson's disease inducers linked to the retentions of the toxic molecule in the matrix or the modification in the protein expression level. Now, the perspectives are to add sulfatid glycosaminoglycan in Biomesis brain in the aim to improve the relevance of the matrix. We would like also to develop a 3D cell culture with neuron, astrocyte, and microglia. And we are studying the modification of the matrix in pathological condition in the aim to perform a screening to find new therapeutic molecules which target no more the cells but the matrix. To conclude, the microenvironment modifies the neuronal response in vitro and should be considered carefully in research and in drug discovery. I thank you for your attention, and if you have questions, you can contact us directly on our website, htspharma.com. Thank you.